Estamos con Paolo Garella, un ingeniero nacido en Italia en 1959, uno de los genios de la industria automotriz. Y le vamos a hacer un par de preguntas en inglés. Es italiano, pero para que todos entiendan lo vamos a hacer en inglés. Así que, bueno, ahí arrancamos. Thank you, Paolo, for joining us. And thank you for your time and thank you for sharing with us your experience and knowledge.
My pleasure.
So, Paolo, we wanted to have just a quick review. We read your biography. It's amazing. Everything you worked on, special projects, celebrities, you travel around the world. I wanted to ask you what made you into studying mechanical engineering and how did you ended up working in cars? Because a lot of our readers are young souls that are starting to study design, mechanical engineering, whatever, and they wanna end up like you. So tell us a little bit how you started.
Well, I'm coming from a very simple Italian family. My mother was a teacher. My father was working the public administration, having been in the army for many years. But I think that my inspiration basically came from my uncle. He was an engineer, and he had a very interesting career, ending as general manager of Ducati. So let's say in the family there was this a little bit of this myth of this uncle that very successful, and I always had nice cars, and we were visiting him, and he was bringing us to see the production facility in Ducati, and before in Aermacchi, Harley Davidson, that was based here in close to Como. So I think that was the inspiration. Then I think when I was a kid, there's been a number of small things that pushed me toward cars. I have to say that I always wanted to be a mechanical engineer. I had never other idea in my life. But also we are back to a moment, let's say, in time in history in which cars, automotive was really the center of the life of many people. I think that 50% of the pupils that were at school with me had the family and parents that were working in Fiat. So there was, I would say, a natural aspiration. The other thing that was very strong in inspiring my career was, every year there was this beautiful motor show in Torino where there were the standard cars, but there was a special pavilion in which there were the carrozzieri. And when I was young, there was this moment in which there were these dream cars. Okay? And they were doing this incredible design on cars that look actually were real. And so it was easy for a kid to be pulled in that direction.
So basically you had a lot of inspiration around from the family and from your town, and that led you up to this. I'm gonna do a quick resume en Spanish. Básicamente lo que nos dice Paolo es que tenía un tío que trabajaba en Ducati, que siempre tenía autos lindos, eso lo inspiró. También él nació en una familia normal, italiana, donde el pueblo y la vecindad es 50% de las personas casi trabajaban todos en Fiat, entonces era como una inclinación natural a trabajar en los autos. Él siempre quiso ser ingeniero mecánico y también tenían todos los años el salón automovilístico de Torino, que tenían estos superautos y ese diseño, entonces eso fue una inspiración para él. Así que bueno, con eso se le nota también la sonrisa, que está muy contento de trabajar en eso. You worked in so many projects, in so many different types of cars. It's like asking a soccer player to pick one goal. I'm gonna ask you if you can give me your top 3 or top 5. Let's in your life to say this was a dream come true to be able to work this car, and maybe you have a funny anecdote of how maybe a normal job ended up being a job that gave you travels, gave you visibility, gave you other things. So maybe, I don't know if you have them on your tip of your mind, but if you can give me your top 3, that would be awesome.
Well, I would say that I can certainly give you my top 2.
Okay.
The top 2 are the Venice project. Okay, the car we did for the Sultán de Brunei based on the 456 Ferrari, in which we did the Spider, the 4-door, and the Estate based on the 456 platform. It was important for me because this was and still is, I think, today, after a few years working for the Sultan, a big step in something that before was not existing. Because thanks to that project, we made a step in the quality, in the industrialization, in the standards of the fuel car. And the fact that we could build, in total there were basically 6 cars each, something so important because we had a special gearbox, we had a longer chassis, we had a completely new body, etc. This really set a new standard in the automotive industry, I would almost say worldwide, in terms of fuel-offs. Okay? You want to translate?
Básicamente le preguntamos cuáles eran sus mejores proyectos que trabajó y no va a decir los top 2, que uno de ellos es para el Sultán de Brunei, el proyecto de Venecia, donde trabajaron en un auto que marcó, en varios autos que marcaron también un antes y un después en la industria automotriz, donde básicamente no solo le pedían caja de cambios nueva, le pedían que alarguen el chasis, le pedían un par de pedidos que eso obviamente elevó los estándares de la producción automovilística y quedó ahí él hizo historia junto a su equipo para trabajar para el Sultán de Brunei, que sabemos que tiene una de las colecciones más grandes del mundo. Paolo, quick questions before you step up on your other project. How is it to work in a company and you have these crazy requests from clients around the world? O sea, ¿cómo es trabajar en una empresa donde te llegan estos requerimientos que a veces es una locura, que no lo puedes pensar? You cannot even think about to put a V6 in a Honda Civic, whatever. Like, how does a company manage? Because they need to do everything special.
But this is the work that I have always done and that we do here. Basically, we can do this kind of project based on an incredible level of competence of the people that we have, dedication and enthusiasm. I think the people that work in my company or that have been working with me before in Pininfarina have this kind of imprinting. I think they must be enthusiastic about working here, and they must have very good skills and competence. And this allow us to face almost any kind of idea of project that somebody can ask around automotive. Okay.
And is it possible for you to tell us some of the perks? Now, I'm not going to tell you everything, but some of the perks to work for such important clients. Maybe to get to travel to, in this case, to Brunei, or to get to know the palace, or I don't know, to get to know the other cars. I don't know, like, what are the perks in case this is Brunei, but maybe in case of other celebrities, to make me meet them or talk to them and bring their ideas to life. I don't know how does this work, and if you can tell us some of the perks that maybe because of one project you ended up traveling in Asia. I don't know.
But let's say that in my life I had period of life in which I spent most of the time traveling in one direction. So I had the period in Brunei, I had a period to US, I had a period to England, to Germany, a little bit in the Middle East, but not much. But basically, the fundamental things that make the sparks is to create a trust, a liaison with the client that makes them have confidence in what you do. And I think the confidence that you are capable to create with the client is the base of the relation and of our project.
Básicamente lo que nos cuenta Paolo es que digo, le preguntamos cuáles son los beneficios también de viajar por todo el mundo, conocer estos clientes, y nos dice que él viajó por todo el mundo, desde Asia, Medio Oriente, Estados Unidos, Alemania, Inglaterra, y básicamente lo que se genera ahí es un nivel de confianza con el cliente, que dice que está en manos capaces, y de ellos también de atajar y ver los pedidos y hacerlo realidad, que es como lo más importante a la hora de trabajar con este tipo de clientes. Let's switch to the other project that you wanted to tell us about. So if you can tell me what's the other that you really enjoyed.
But let's say the other big project, I would say very successful, was when with Jim Glickenhaus we decided to go to build a complete car from scratch to race the 24 hour on the Nürburgring, and then the SCG 003 was created. And I think that between all the cars that I have done in my life, that is really the one in which I've put more of myself.
Okay.
And
who was the client?
It was done with Jim Glickenhaus.
Jim Glickenhaus, okay.
Okay. And I would say that when the second year that we were racing, we were on the pole position. We won the pole position of the 24 hour of the Nürburgring. I think that was a moment in which let's say it was extremely rewarding, because when you are in the pole position, or probably the most important race in Germany, you turn and behind you see Audi, Mercedes, Bentley, BMW, all the big Bentley, Ferrari, Lamborghini, and you are the first one. It means a lot. I mean, and because it's not only a technical achievement, but it's also, let's say, a team achievement. It means that you have done a good job. So.
Bastante lo que nos comenta fue que crearon un auto de cero para Jim Nicholson de las 24 horas Nürburgring, en la pista más famosa de Alemania, básicamente, y el momento más increíble para él fue verlo en la pole position, siendo el número uno por delante de marcas como Ferrari, Bentley, Mercedes, todas las marcas grandes, y ver el trabajo que hicieron ellos desde cero con todo el equipo, verlo hecho una realidad en una pista de autos en un lugar tan icónico en Alemania como es Nürburgring, es un hecho, es un sueño hecho realidad, básicamente. I can bet you have so many stories to tell us, but before in the before when we were talking, you told me you wanted to talk about the future, about the present. What is your vision? So basically, I have two questions for this part for you. One is, what would you advise to someone young who is starting to get into the cars life? Basically, what would you not repeat? And the second one is, I wanted to hear your opinion about the car industry today, because maybe when you started, the fancy cars had so much difference, not only in the engine but with the interior and everything, and nowadays the gap is getting smaller. I don't know if you agree with me, but nowadays you can have a Chinese car with almost the same specs, not in the engine, but the electronic details almost as good as the best cars in the world. So I wanted to hear first the tips to the young guys, and second, the industry today. O sea, básicamente le estoy preguntando que nos dé los consejos para alguien que está empezando a trabajar en la industria automotriz, y segundo, que nos cuente su opinión de la industria automotriz al día de hoy y cómo también los gaps entre las marcas están cayendo y cuál es ahí el diferencial. So let's start with the tip to the young people who is starting, and what shouldn't they do in your opinion?
I think that what I did and what I recommend them to do is not to get too specialized. This has always been a characteristic of the Italian university system. To do studies and to try to create a career where you see many things, you understand many things, but you are not hyper specialized on one item. Okay, this I think today there is a push to get people very, very specialized.
Yes, that's why it surprises me, your question, but it's interesting.
But things change so much that if you get super specialized and you do not understand the physics and the dynamics, you get obsolete very quickly.
Eso básicamente lo que nos cuenta, a diferencia de la creencia popular, es que no especializarse en algo muy específico, porque hoy en día las cosas cambian tan rápido que básicamente si uno se pone a estudiar algo tan específico como es el sistema italiano de universidad, que cuando él estudió era así, te quedas medio perdido. Entonces hay que intentar ver la big picture, como se dice en inglés también, y ver un poquito todo y no especializarse en una sola cosa. Ese es el consejo para los que recién arrancan.
Okay.
Yes.
When I was at university, I had a great professor that used to say, "You are engineers, so you must understand the phenomena in the whole. You understand the trends. You don't have to know which is the small number. Okay, the small number there is at that time there were the people making the calculation. Today you have the computer, but you must know if the computer give you the right answer or not."
That's really good.
What I would not repeat, I think I would not take certain situation too personal.
Okay.
I think in my career I had to face a situation in which I kept a certain direction because I took, say, the situation very personal. I think that if you are a manager, you also have, you must have the, let's say, the feeling to step back and let's say, to leave the things to other. For sure, what I would never change is the passion. I think do something that you like.
That's beautiful, thank you.
And enjoy yourself.
Well, that's really important.
Have fun.
Bueno, básicamente nos cuenta un par de historias. Primero, cuando él estaba estudiando, un profesor le dice que cuando sos ingeniero tenés que ver todo. Hoy en día, por más que los cálculos se hacen en la computadora, tenés que saber si la computadora hace las cosas bien o mal. Por más que lo haga bien, tenés que tener esa visión general. Y segundo, lo que él no haría es no se tomaría las cosas demasiado personal, porque a veces en algunos proyectos y cuando sos manager tenés que no tomarte las cosas demasiado personal para de repente no estar focalizado en el trabajo y no tomárselo personal. Y lo que sí no dejaría de hacerlo es con pasión y obviamente disfrutar cada momento, porque como todos los apasionados de los autos, esta pasión que tenemos todos por los autos, por trabajar en esta industria, por cubrir esta industria, es algo que nos mueve a todos y es el motor principal de este tipo de charlas también. Paolo, finally, last but not least, You saw everything. You saw everything. I cover so many cars, so many shows, so many situations that I want to hear your opinion about the present and the future of the automotive industry. Where is this thing going?
I don't know. Okay, it's very complicated. Let's say that first, more and more we see a split between the industry that create cars, create objects that still carry a certain passion. Okay, so you have all brands that are in that direction, and there is a completely different, let's say, industry that create objects to go from A to B. Okay. This second part of the industry is an industry that is becoming more and more driven by political decision, like today in Europe, the electrics, that are becoming, in my opinion, decisions that are too political, are too much away from the what is feasible and also what is reasonable from a technological, and to a certain extent a geopolitical point of view. The passion side is the one in which I would still advise a young engineer to get involved. The other one, I'm not sure, because everything is becoming just repeating of certain things, and the consolidation of the big companies, it's making less and less space to be creative.
Básicamente, en resumen, lo que dice que la industria de automotriz hoy en día se divide en esas marcas, esos proyectos que derivan de la pasión, y los otros que son pura y exclusivamente de transporte, de ir de un lado A a un lado B, y como pasa hoy en día en la industria de los autos eléctricos en Europa, donde muchas decisiones se ven tomadas y son politizadas básicamente, y dice que a raíz de los conglomerados grandes de marcas, cada vez queda menos lugar para las marcas que básicamente tienen ese espacio para la creatividad, como nacieron hace 50 o 60 años muchas marcas de las que hoy conocemos. Y finally, I wanted to ask you, finalmente, ¿qué proyectos se te vienen a vos ahora? What projects are you gonna do now? Or are you just gonna chill on the beach with your family in Italy, sipping a good wine? Or what else have you got on your mind? What is Paolo Garella doing this year?
Well, we are doing some very interesting things, but my top project this year is to build with my two young grandson. We are building a soapbox to do the Swiss championship of soapbox. Okay. That is more than 50 years old, and there are, I think, 20 races, and so I'm building a soapbox together with them. So that is my
a soapbox. Yeah, that's nice. That's really nice. That's really nice. I think that's going to be your most passionate project till now.
Yes, and then you will see during the year. I hope that we will unveil this year at least 2 new cars. One, I hope it will be ready by June, July. It's going to be an electric car. and another one will be more September, October. It's a big project, and in which we will serve as let's say important supplier, Battista supplier, a big German company, and it's going to be something very, very exciting. Something finally maybe a car that I will buy for myself.
Okay, that's really interesting. Básicamente Pablo nos dice, yo le pregunté que cuáles son sus proyectos para este año. Básicamente va a construir un softbox con su hijo, con su nieto de 2 años, que lo van a hacer este año para correr carreras allá. Y por otro lado van a sacar 2 proyectos, un auto eléctrico y uno que es a motor básicamente, y que dice que es un proyecto muy interesante como proveedor de una empresa alemana, que dice que capaz que él se lo termina comprando, y vamos a esperar a escuchar después que nos cuente más adelante. Lo vamos a volver a contactar a Paolo básicamente a que nos cuente si lo compró al final. We're gonna write you to know if you bought it or no.
Okay.
So Paolo, it was an immense pleasure. Thank you for your time, for your knowledge, for sharing your experience. I love personally talking to you. Thank you for being so nice with us. I'm pretty sure all the guys in the newspaper are gonna love it. So grazie mille, and I hope we can talk to you soon to see how your projects are evolving.
Grazie mille.
Ciao.
Thank you very much.
Piacere.
Ciao.
Ciao.